Welcome back to making a Minecraft hack client for 1.8.9. This is part 4, and in this video we will be creating the ClickGUI of the client. So let's go ahead and get right into it. This will probably be a somewhat long one, and this is going to be a lot of math. So let's just get into it. Make a new package, UI, and ClickGUI inside of that. And we're going to be creating a new Java class named ClickGUI screen, which will extends GUI screen. We're not going to do anything in there for now, but we're going to now make a event listener in our main class, which for me is tutorial, to listen to keybinds. So when they press right shift, we're opening this ClickGUI. So just like we've done in the module in previous ones, at subscribe from Alpine, private final listener event key listener equals new listener lambda of e. And then if e dot get key is equal to keyboard dot key underscore r shift mc dot display GUI screen new click GUI screen. You can really make this whatever keybind you want. You could make it, I don't know, a B or 1 if you wanted to, but right shift is just the convention, as you would probably know. So now we're going to make this ClickGUI screen. So private final font renderer fr equals tutorial.instance.getFR. Private final scaled resolution sr equals new scaled resolution tutorial.instance.getMC semicolon. And now we're going to define the actual box, the big main box. So private final int box width equals 200, private final int box height equals 124, private final int box x equals scaled resolution or SR to get scaled width divided by 2 minus box width divided by 2. We're going to just copy this down. So box y SR to get scaled height divided by 2 divided or minus box h divided by 2. Now we're just going to make a override the draw screen and say, oh, we should make a util class for the drawing rectangles. So util, let's make a new Java class, render util. And here we'll just say public static void draw rect int x int y int width int height and int color. Then we're going to just say GUI.drawRect x y x plus width y plus height and color. And close this, and now we'll just say render util.drawRect box x box y box width and box height, and we'll make it the color of 0x ff222222. I'm going to go ahead and just launch this up so we can make sure our ClickGUI screen is actually working. Alright, so I'm going to press right shift, and there we go. We now see our gray box. Now, I'm going to make this a bit different than the normal ClickGUIs you would see in other tutorials. So I'm going to make it, I'm going to have a little bottom bar down here, which will have all the categories like combat, movement, player, render. And then through that, I'm going to have all the modules listed up here that we can scroll on. So we're going to have scrolling too. And in a future lecture, probably the next one, I'm going to be adding settings. So it's going to be a bit different than what you've seen. It's going to be somewhat similar to Rise clients, but just have everything down here. So let's go ahead and make that below area. So private final int below box width equals 200, which is going to be, actually, let's just make this boxed width. Private final int below box h equals 20. Private final int below box x equals SR to get scaled width divided by 2 minus below box width divided by 2. private final int below box y equals SR that gets scaled height divided by 2 minus below box height divided by 2 plus box height divided by 2 plus 8. There we go. So now let's draw this too. So, what have I done? Okay, so render util.draw rect below box x, below box y, below box width, and below box height. Or no, yeah, below box height, and then 0x dd 22 to 2 to 22 to 2 to 2. There we go. So let's run the client and see if this is all positioned correctly. Alright, yep, so this is exactly what I want. In this little transparent area here, we'll have the text listed out as combat, movement, etc. And then all the modules to be in here. So the first step we should probably do is get all the modules. So we're going to make a private list modules. And we're going to do private category cat selected equals category.combat. I'm actually going to rename our categories to just be combat, movement, player, and renderer instead of having them in all caps, because then it would display in all caps in the GUI screen. If you wanted to, you could just have a name variable like that, but there's really no reason. So in our modules, I'm gonna redo those so that they are proper. So movement, and render. There we go. And do this one too. Now let's go ahead and draw those. So int x offset equals below box x plus 4 for category out of category.values fr.drawString category.name x offset below box y plus 6 and -1. -1 is just a shorthand of putting in 0x ff for just complete white. X offset plus equals fr.getStringWidth category.name plus 8. And now we're just going to say, let's go ahead and get all the modules. So modules equals arrays.asList tutorial.instance.getModuleManager.getModules cat selected. Why is this? Sure. String.value of. That's fine. Or wait. Get module string. Get modules. Not get module. Get modules with an S. And then we're just going to say render module list, which we'll make in just a second. A private void render module list. Int module height equals 24. Int y offset equals box y plus 4 minus plus 4. I'm going to go ahead and also code in the scrolling portion while we make this. So let's see here. Private int scroll offset equals 0. We'll make another thing here of update scroll offset, which I'll go ahead and make that. So private void update scroll offset. Int module height equals 24. Int visible modules equals 5. Int total modules equals modules.size. Int max scroll equals math.max. 0 total modules times module height minus visible modules times module height. If scroll offset is less than 0, or if 0 is greater than scroll offset equals 0. If the scroll offset is greater than the max scroll offset equals max scroll. So how I'm going to do scrolling is I want to make it so if we're scrolling, we can also render for example, half of a module instead of just having some modules appear and some disappear based on how we're scrolling, because we want to, like, if we scroll down, we don't want to immediately remove the module that's at the top. We want to slowly remove it and only show a bit of it at the bottom. So we're going to say gl11 dot gl enable gl11 dot gl scissor test, and then we're just going to make a scissor method, box x, box y, box width, and box height. Let's go ahead and actually make that. So private void scissor int x, int y, int width, int height. Scale of, oh wait, no, we already defined a scaled resolution up here. So int scale factor equals SR to get scale factor. gl11.gl scissor x times scale factor SR dot get scaled height minus y plus height times scale factor width times scale factor and height times scale factor. So now we can come back up to render module list. So for module out of modules, int module y1 equals y offset, int module y2, I don't know what better things to name these, equals y offset plus module height. Yeah, it'll be fine. You can rename that if you want. So if module y2 is greater than box y and module y1 is less than box y plus box height, render util dot draw rect box x plus 5 y offset box width minus 10 20 and 0x what would be a good color, dd 555555, sure, why not. gl11.gl push matrix, gl11.gl pop matrix, go ahead and just go back up, gl11.gl scaled 0.75 0.75 0.75, and then fr.drawString module.getName, and then I'll cast it to a float of box x plus 7 times 1.3335, and then cast it to a float again, y offset plus 1 times 1.3335 minus 1, and false, because for some reason over the only the second overload thing can accept floats. I don't know why, but that's just how it is. I've tested with these integers and floats a lot, so that's just how I got the values. If you'd like to modify them, go ahead. I just recommend waiting until all this is finished first. Do it again, gl11.gl push matrix, gl11.gl pop matrix, gl11.gl scaled 0.5, 0.5, and 0.5, fr.draw split string module.get description, box x plus 7, no, plus 7 times 2, and then y offset plus fr.font height times 2, box width times 2 minus 24 for the wrap width, and then let's do 0x ff dd dd dd. There we go. So this is just gonna draw the module name and the module description at a smaller scale so that, you know, the text isn't huge, and we're doing a draw split screen because maybe our description for flight is like super long. If we didn't do draw split screen, then that text would eventually just go off the screen. But with draw split screen, it will actually put this into multiple lines. Just go ahead and remove that. Now we're going to make a new method inside render util called public static void draw hollow rect. That takes in an int x, int y, int width, int height, int line width, and int color. UI dot draw rect x, x, y, x plus width, y plus line width, and then color. So I'm just gonna put in some comments so I can just, for ease of use, GUI.draw rect x plus width, y, x plus width plus line width, y plus height, height plus 1, and color. This will be the right part. GUI.draw rect x, y, x plus y line width, y plus height, and color. This will be the left portion. GUI.draw rect x, y plus height, x plus width, y plus height plus line width, and color. There we go. And this is the bottom part. Alright, so now render util is fully done, at least for this tutorial. Render util.draw hollow rect box width plus 75, y offset plus 6, 5, 5, 1, and -1. Render util.draw rect box width plus 76, y offset plus 7, 4, 4. Then we're going to make inline if statement. So module dot is toggled question mark 0x ff 3 ff 3 4f else 0x fa 4848. This is just rendering a little checkbox to the right that will determine, or that will show up in either red or green depending on if the module is toggled. So now we can just do y offset plus equals module height, and then gl11.gl disable gl11.gl scissor, gl underscore scissor test. There we go. So we can go ahead and run this and see what exactly we're doing, and then we can go ahead and implement all these scrolling and mouse clicks to toggle the modules. Alright, so if we press right shift, we won't see anything because we are, because it defaults us to combat, but if we go to movement where we have 2 modules, we again won't see anything. I forgot because we haven't implemented the functionality to actually click on these and change. So let's set the defaults to movement and we'll see what happens then. Alright, so I'm going to set this category selected just to movement for now, and let's run it and see if that shows us the thing. Right, so as you see, when we press right shift, it defaults to movement, and we see flight and sprint with the names and descriptions we set. We can't toggle these yet, but since they're both enabled by default, they're both green. If they weren't, these would be red. So yeah, this doesn't look the prettiest, but you can see where it's going, and you can obviously make this as polished as you'd like. This tutorial series is just here to help you get started. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and put this back to combat. Now the reason combat and everything else did not display anything, render would because we have HUD, is just because we don't have modules for those yet. Probably in two videos from now we'll be adding more modules, but alright, so first let's go with the mouse clicks, and then we'll go for the scrolling part. So I'm going to come up here above update scroll offset and just override, if I can spell, mouse clicked. Make sure to keep the super calls for everything we override. It's just necessary in these, I think. So if mouse button equals 0, this is the left mouse. Int x offset equals below box x plus 4. For category out of category.values, int text width equals fr to get string width category.name. Int text x1 equals x offset. Int text x2 equals x offset plus text width. again, I'm not really naming these right. Int text y1 equals below box y plus 6. Int text y2 equals text y1 plus fr.font height. I would really recommend renaming these, but I don't want to. If hover util. Oh, we didn't make a hover util yet. Let's make a new util package called hover util. This will just help us check if something is hovered, mostly in the GUI screen. So public static boolean is hovered, int left, int top, int right, int bottom, int mouse x, int mouse y. Return mouse x is greater than or equal to left, and mouse x is less than or equal to right, and mouse y is greater than or equal to top, and mouse y is less than or equal to bottom, right? Because this is just a lot to write out for every single hover method, so is hovered is just easier. Hover util dot is hovered text. Actually, we can probably just rename these. So left, what is it? Left, right, top, bottom, and then top. Yeah, that probably work, maybe. So let's do left, top, right, and bottom. Mouse and mouse X and mouse Y, which we get from mouse clicked. We'll say if cat selected does not equal category, cat selected equals category, and scroll offset equals 0. And then x offset plus equals text width plus 8. So now I'll go for the toggling of modules. Int y offset equals box y plus 4 minus scroll offset. Int module height equals 24. You might want to put module height into a global scope variable. We use it a few times. For, put this down line, for module out of modules. Int module y1 equals y offset. Int module y2 equals y offset plus module height. If, I'm going to say hover, if hover util dot is hovered, box x plus 5, and then the top is going to be module y1. Right is going to be box x plus box width minus 5, and bottom is going to just be module y2, then mouse x, mouse y, module dot toggle, and break, then y offset plus equals module height. And now let's see if our clicking of modules and or categories and module toggling works. Okay, I did set that back to combat. All right, so if I press movement, you can see they change for all the categories. We don't have anything in player or combat yet. But now if I click anywhere inside of this gray box, these are turning, they're toggling, and they're toggling correctly. So now we're gonna do one more thing in handle scrolling. So let's put this below the mouse clicked. Handle mouse inputs. Int scroll equals mouse dot get event d wheel. If scroll does not equal 0, int mouse x equals mouse dot get event x times this dot width divided by this dot mc dot display width. Int mouse y equals this dot height minus mouse dot get event y times this dot height divided by this dot mc dot display height minus 1. If hover util dot is hovered, box x, box y, box x plus box width, box y plus box height, mouse x, mouse y. If scroll is greater than 0, scroll offset minus equals 20. else if scroll is less than 0, scroll offset plus equals 20, and then just put in scroll or update scroll offset. Now IntelliJ is gonna say condition scroll is less than 0 is always true. It's not, it's just lying. If you don't add that, you won't be able to scroll down or scroll up. I don't know which one, I believe. But I'm pretty sure with that, our ClickGUI is fully done. Now, we won't really be able to test the scrolling because we don't have enough modules. You know what? I'm just gonna copy flight down. So Control C, Control V, flight 2, flight 3, flight 4, flight 5, flight 6. I'm just gonna rename these quickly. Flight 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'm also gonna put enabled equals false here. You don't actually need to put enabled equals false just because that's the default. You don't have to also copy what I'm doing. This is just for testing purposes. But now if we load into the game and go to movement, we can see all these modules here. I don't think I added enough actually. Or wait, oh, I don't think I can scroll. Okay, hold on. Yeah, it's not allowing me to scroll. So good thing we tested that. Oh, so here in Y offset, we need to minus scroll offset. I think that's the issue. So now if we go into our ClickGUI and scroll, we can actually see things scrolling. What I mean about the scissoring is, for example, when we scroll down, you can see flight 5 almost gets cut off here, and that's generally what you want to see. You don't just want to see it vanish away. So yeah, that'll wrap it up for this one. If you would like, you can always, here's some things you could really do to improve this. You could add a little scroll bar over here. You could maybe do rounded corners. I'm not going to be covering rounded corners in this series because that requires a lot of math, but you'd really just do triangle fans on each corner. You could make these more centered, really. I just don't have the time for it. You could make whichever one is selected or what category is selected highlighted in a different color. There's a lot of things you could do. In the next one, or in the next tutorial, we're going to be adding a settings list to these modules, as well as adding an array list so we can see what's active. That'll do it for this one. Please subscribe. These things on the screen are very, very sad. We won't add a no fall next tutorial, but in 2 tutorials time we will be adding more modules like probably no fall, speed, spider, step, whatever.